This is a fully digital card game that's available on desktop, on Steam, for Windows and OS X. It also runs on my Linux system by using Steam Proton. It's a mobile game as well for Android and iOS. One of the fundamental differences between Magic and Mythgard is there's no flutter screw in Mythgard. So rather than depending on that luck of the draw, any of your cards in your deck, you can take and burn them to turn them into a resource. I'm confused by your question, Beansy. The deck we're going to be playing with to start is a 2-color aggressive deck. It's base red for the various rush creatures in this game to run people down very quickly. And then we've got a small splash of blue for thunderclap and giant stairways, which are sweeper style effects. See if you're bored a little bit of control, that this also hits your opponent, so it's a little bit of reach. And giant stairway in the late game is really powerful with your variety of rush minions. Am I still going to build an office? At some point, if I manage to find a contractor that can return my phone calls in a reasonable amount of time and doesn't just ghost me, yeah, I'm going to have an actual studio space that gets built out. Every time I have to interact with some kind of small business to get some kind of service done around my house, I just, am flabbergasted that these people stay in business. The amount of just, lack of responses that I get is just, way too high. It's weird, the queue times have been a little bit long since the patch last Friday. Wonder if people are just, not sure what they want to play yet. The colors in Mythgard have identities similar to Magic, so the colors in Mythgard are a little bit less strict than Magic when it comes to their identities. So the color identity is more Vorthos-based in Mythgard as opposed to being, mechanically based, which I think is functionally a good thing a lot of the time, because it allows you to avoid some of those feel-bad moments that we frequently have in Magic, where, what's the word that I'm searching for? Where you can't interact with a specific card type, like you're playing red-black and you don't get to interact with enchantments, for example. So the combat in this game is very interactive and pretty unique. I enjoy it a lot. So when you deploy units, you have lanes 1 through 7. And my deck's an aggressive deck, so when you're deploying with aggressive decks, you generally want to deploy to lanes 1, 4, and 7. And the reason for this is attacking and blocking in this game is done on the 3 lanes directly in front of you, or if you're on one of the outside lanes, 2 lanes. So by spreading your minions out when you deploy, it allows you to, make your units harder for your opponent to block. So you can see here my opponent deployed their 1-1 in front of my 2-2 here. Unlike Hearthstone, where you can just run people's faces down, in this game, even though minions attack other minions, you can't just run past what they have going on. So there's a blocking element to this game similar to Magic that tends to make the gameplay very interactive. So it takes the element of Hearthstone where your decks, the gameplay's interactive from minions attacking other minions, and also adds the interactive element from Magic with strategic blocking. My 2-2 here has a mechanic called Breach, so it's a 2-2 with Rush, so it can attack right away. Whenever it hits my opponent, I get to lose a life and draw a card and make it smaller. So this card eventually will frequently deal 3 and draw us 2, also draining us a little bit. So, to look at the kind of breakup of a card here, the number in the upper left-hand corner is the number of resources it takes to play, and then these colors here are the number of gems of that color are required to make this card work. So this card costs 2 total resources, and it takes up 2 red gems to play out. I'm going to go ahead and burn this ignition here, and when I burn the card, you'll see I gain a red gem. and I gain a total resource here. I'm going to go ahead and hit their face with this to start, which deals 1 to them, and then I draw a card, which is excellent. I can hit their face over here. Yeah, I agree. No instance is almost therapeutic to a degree, because you just know your stuff's going to get to work. Like that last game against of Magic where like we're playing against the Flash deck is just like, some of those games are so miserable. I'm going to attack their O2 here, because this card gets bigger every turn for them, and when it has 3 defense, they can use it to draw a card. So if I don't kill this turn, they're going to get to draw a second card with it. And then I'm going to deploy my firesong prodigy here in the middle. And when this card comes into play, it gives me an ignition, which is basically a shock. Gets to deal 2 damage to something. And again, that aggressive positioning I was talking about, I have units on lanes 1, 4, and 7, which means my opponent can't deploy a single minion and block multiple of mine. Yes, yeah, the turn structure is very rewarding for sequencing optimally, and there's a lot of options for sequencing optimally, because you can play cards and attack in any order that's optimal. So this card costs 5, but notably it costs blue to play out, so I need to burn a blue card if I want to be able to play this. I'm going to go ahead and deploy my giant stairway over here to the right, and this is what's called a lane enchantment. Lane enchantments occupy a specific one of the 7 lanes on the board, and it gives the minion a bonus. So this one gives the occupied minion just a flat 3/3 bonus. So it takes my smaller aggressive creatures and gives them a huge upgrade here. Yeah, this turn is likely to be a sweeper for my opponent. I agree with that. 5 mana. There's a 5 mana yellow sweeper called Misanthropia, so we might see that happen. But my hand's still chock full of gas. One of the things that's nice about the resource system in this game is you control how many resources you have in any given game. So for example, my aggressive deck here frequently only wants to draw, only wants to play 5 to 6 resources out. So when I feel like I have enough resources, I can just stop playing resources. So they played a 2/4 over here. So I'm going to go ahead and ignition this. And then this into this can trade. I'm going to play my Oak of the Dodona out here, though, first. Because this card says whenever one of my other minions dies, my opponent takes 1 and I gain 1. And you can see when I draw my line here, the interface gives me feedback. It tells me both of these are going to die and I'm going to gain a life, and my opponent's going to lose a life if I complete this attack. This minion got stunned, so it cannot attack this turn. And again, I'm not going to play a land this turn or make a resource, because my deck curves out at 5, so I don't really want to play too much past 5 unless I need extra in a single turn. So that's pretty good. There's the sweeper we were talking about them potentially happening. So this gives all minions Blight 3. So all of my minions are going to get -3/-3 at the start of my turn. When the Oak dies, very powerful card, it lets me look at the top 3 and take one of them. So I'm going to grab the Ichor Feast here, which is great. It says draw 3, lose 3. Hit them for 2. I'm going to play Panic Raider out, down over here. And then I think, because I have Ichor Feast here to gas up a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and actually burn an extra card here. This is gonna put some gas in the tank next turn, so we'll hit them for 2. Oh, you know, maybe I should have kept a rush minion, because this is gonna die to the Blight next turn, and having a rush minion to deploy on the giant stairway would be good. So we drew another Ichor Feast here, so we've got 2 draw 3s in our hand. It was one of the reasons why I really love this aggressive deck, because it is an aggressive deck that draws a lot of cards. My opponent very smartly playing their unit out over here across from the giant stairway, so that way if I do have a rush minion, they'll have a blocker in the way. Yeah, Ichor Feast is pretty likely to find one, is accurate. Alright, so what do I want to do here? It's probably just Panic Raider over here and smack them, right? Just kill their thing.
Got anything good?
Got anything good? And then I can burn the Strigoi Pup to get my 3rd red gem, and then go ahead and Ichor Feast this turn as well. And this game should be pretty over. We drew triple 3/2 rushes, so they're only at 6. If you think this game's neat and you'd like to give it a try, one of the things the game developers this game did really well, in my opinion, is they have what they called feature decks in their client, where you can, when you create an account, you get 2 decks out of a pool of like 30 assigned to you at random, and you can play ranked and unranked matches with the cards in that account without spending any money. So it gives you, well, the world is our oyster here, so let's go ahead and give them the clap, which does 2 to them and all of their stuff. And then we'll ignition here, and then the satyr can kill them. Yeah, a lot of reach there. Lot of right ways to eat that Rhesus at the end. Did the overlay unload itself? It did. Thank you for the heads up. Should be back again. So they give you their decks that are fairly, the quality of them can vary a little bit, because some of them, rather than focusing on being competitive, are showing some of the novel things that the game can do in terms of mechanics. But you get 2 complete decks that you can play constructed with that rotate twice per week. There's like a pool of 30 of them, so that way all the new players don't have the same ones. They're not just playing mirror matches, which is also very smart.
Let's feed.
Put my Strogoi pup over here. Next turn we'll probably burn a blue card and play a Thane down over here. I guess I could just play trapezists and get them. Yeah, I'm just gonna get the rush minion down. Just like crack them for 4 here. Let's get our DPS going. I'm not certain if this card is worth the slot in this deck. It's kind of sweet with the 3/2 rushes because they have teleport. This comes into play, it can give a minion, it gives all our minions a free move action, so you can kind of like use this to get our guys out of the way or reposition to like be more likely to kill them. So this, to play this, requires double red gems, so I need to burn specifically a red card in order to be able to play this. So I'm going to burn the firesong prodigy, and again I'm going to deploy this one in the middle, so that way I'm making my board the hardest for my opponent to block. Yes, yeah, it can let you sneak out lethal when you're close. And the stat line in this card's pretty good. Like 3/4 regen 1 for 3 is like a good stat line. All right, so I'm gonna start by hitting them with this to see what we draw. Wings of Abaddon, yeah, that's great. Hit them for 2. I'm going to go ahead and burn the Thane here and play Wings in the middle. Wings is a 4/1 with Rush for 4, and it can sacrifice one of my other minions to become immortal till end of turn. There are multicolored cards. I am not playing any. So this guy is a pretty good anti-aggro card. When it comes into play, it stuns the thing across from it. I'm going to hit them for 2 here, and then I have another Wings of Abaddon here. So I'm going to play my other Wings out here, and my Wings is going to eat this 2/1, and then my Wings gets to eat their 3/3. So I basically traded my 2/1 for their 3/3, which is a good exchange. This is turn 5 coming up here, so my opponent's deck could have a sweeper this turn. If they have Misanthropia, they're going to be able to stabilize reasonably. If they don't have Misanthropia, they should be in a pretty big world of hurt here. Need a sweeper of some sort. They did not burn a yellow card, so that means we shouldn't be getting swept, which is nice. Wake the Bones, they're just picking a card back up, sure. Just running the playback here, just stalling, essentially. Alright, I'm going to start with Panic Raider. I'll start with Panic Raider over here.
Got anything good?
Attack for 1. Giant Stairway is great. I'm just going to go ahead and sack the Panic Raider here. And eat this. So the Panic Raider drew a card and then it effectively traded for that there. And then I think I'm just going to go ahead and trapeze this over here and smack them for 2. Down to... They're already at 8, which is Wonder Drug range. So I just want to like do as much as possible. Yeah, so they rebalanced the number of cards in their patch on Friday, and this card no longer has trample, but it doesn't cost anything to activate it anymore. I actually like it better with the stat line. It's less aggressive, but gives you a little bit more play to it, which is good. So Giant Stairway is good because it's a card that allows me to add more pressure to the table here without extending further into a sweeper. So I get to use all my resources for this turn playing the Giant Stairway, and then I just get to pass, which is nice. So they're at 7 here. And if they have a Misanthropia now, this even survives a Misanthropia for a turn. Yeah, there's some videos of me playing both Hearthstone and Dota Underlords on my YouTube channel. Both those games I enjoyed to start, but I did feel like they really lacked replayability. So I think I'm again just gonna get the Stairway down over here. So this thing only has 2 power because it was given -3 power permanently. So I'm gonna go ahead and attack them for 2. And then I'm gonna go ahead and use this to eat this. So this is invulnerable, so it kills this. And then this hits them to 4. And then I think I'm just passing again here. I'm gonna burn this. I need a 3rd blue so I can double spell at some point. I did see the new Hearthstone auto chest. I've not played any of that though. Don't have time for new games in my life right now. All right, that's another harvester. Comes into play. It gains them a bunch of life. Are they dead? I think they're dead, right? They're dead on board. So this is fragile currently, so it takes 1 more damage. So I can go ahead and give this plus attack.
To battle.
And then this eats this, and then this does 7 to their face. Now, folks, I feel like the folks that told me this deck was dead after they banned the shocky thing were like, also lethal with a free move to... Well, they were at 7, so that's not true, right? I only had lethal because I was on the Stairway. Claim my gold. We're 1 gem away from my weekly chest. Yeah, rush with Giant Stairway is very good. Going up to the 3rd Stairway was one of the changes I made. It's also possible that I didn't think the rainbow version was very good anyways. I think my loose take is that the rainbow version was worse than the non-rainbow version even when Fire Eater was legal. I think there's a chance that this should just be Demolition Speedway. I'm not quite sure what I want this slot to be. The body's been nice, and I'm a little bit concerned of playing too many enchantments, but I could see. They nerfed Fire Eater. Fire Eater is still legal. Did I say banned? My vernacular is all over the place. They nerfed Fire Eater, which was one of the key cards. They made him cost 1 to activate instead of being free. Oh, you're saying I could have traded on the Stairway and then free moved into the Stairway to kill them? Sure. Alright, so I'm gonna burn Extract Life here to start so I can play Stroggy Pup over here.
Let's feed.
I think there's a world or a meta game where like Fire Eater's playable still. I think in a format where In a format where you're playing with sideboards, I would bet Fire Eater's still a very playable sideboard card against specific decks. It feels bad to, like, use my power to, like, instead of committing more to the board here, but I think I want to use my power so I can trade 1 for 1 here. My power is not something I don't think I've really used yet this stream session. So once per turn for 2 resources, I can give one of my minions +1 attack. Lets me push through those extra points of damage. You see a point in the foreseeable future where you do Pioneer the afternoon. I don't, extras. Magic Online always has less viewers than Magic Arena for the most part, and doing the less popular format later in the day is not ideal.
Do we have a mission?
Well, this is really rude. All right, so what do I want to do here? They deployed their units at 1, 4, and 7, so I don't have free attacks anywhere with my rush minions. That was really well played on my opponent's part. They understand the positioning. I think I'm going to, like, deploy Thane over here and then burn something and put Strigoi Pup in the middle, and then next turn I can give them the clap and attack through is the plan. Probably burn this ignition off. I guess I could just burn Stairway, because I'm going to have to burn Stairway to play the clap anyways. What's going on, Awful? This is Mythgard. It's a fully digital card game that's available on Android, iOS, and Steam. This card's super powerful. Just like a burn spell that also cleans their board out is great. This 2/3 makes their 2/1 not do anything this turn for the most part, because it says this fully heals whenever an opposing minion dies. I did just say I'm going to give them the clap. Now, unfortunately, they played a 3/3 over here, so my 2/3 is going to die next turn. I get to burn my pup off here. Honestly, I think I could probably get a little bit more value out of my clap at this point. Yeah, it's gonna be winter soon. I think I'm gonna go ahead and just attack this in here and finish this off. And then I can play Panic Raider here and smack them and draw a card. This is a card that I've been impressed with at the top end of this deck's curve. It says whenever one of your minions dies, you get a 2/1 Forlorn Spirit in your hand. Can give you a lot of gas in the mid game, which is nice. I could actually just play this next turn. I could, like, play this, trade this here. Oh, well now we're clapping him, because this is fragile. Goodbye, friends. Definitely burning a red card here. The question is, which one? I think it's just this ignition. Because then next turn I can go Thane, Firesong Ignition as a 5-mana thing. What's winter? That's a good question. So there is one of the reasons why this game captured my attention, I've stuck with it a bit compared to a lot of other games, is there's a ton of depth in deck building. So in addition to the power here that I've talked about a little bit, when you're building your deck, each deck you build has a path assigned to it. So in my opponent's case here, their path is Turn of the Seasons, which rotates through 4 different options every single turn. So one turn, it gains them a life, it heals all their minions, it draws them a card, but during winter, it makes their minions fragile. They played out a Herald of Pestilence here, 4/7, that the minions in the 3 lanes across from them have Blight. I think you need to kill their Centaur. Well, I can't really kill their Centaur. So I think I'm going to go ahead and attack with this to start. Then I have to decide what else I want to do this turn. It might just be like clump my units up down over here. Just like Firesong plus Thane over here. I could also ichor feast, get some information that way, and eventually work this extract life up to killing this. It's probably not unreasonable. Double panic readers, pretty reasonable, pretty decent hits there. All right, I think I want quad red next turn anyways. So I think it's burned this off because I want to work up there, and then I'll play my 2/3 out over this way. What do you think about the price disparity and buying MTG boxes at Amazon as opposed to the LGS? I think capitalism sucks, and that's just how capitalism works. The one nice thing about this is that this means they're less likely, while Herald of Pestilence is in play, they're less likely to want to deploy a Misanthropia or a Geddon Angel. So I'm like kind of insulated from a sweeper while that card's in play, which is nice. They played this 0-1 here. They have another blocker here, we could be in trouble. They're just mending, sure. Alright, so I think I just kill this, and then I Panic Raider here. Panic Raider their face, see where we go. It's another Ichor Feast. Okay, so I need to get up to 8 resources so I can extract life that next turn. I'm gonna go ahead and play my 2/3 here, and then burn this off, I think. Oh, I missed a point of damage. I should have counted. I do that all the time in this aggro deck, so I missed a point because I was going to have 2 to spare, so they should be at 12. My path is one we didn't talk about yet. My path here says whenever a non-ephemeral, it's kind of like non-token unit we control dies, we get a soul, and at the start of our turn, if we have 3 souls, which we actually do right now, we get the bottom unit of our discard pile back to our hand. So at the start of our next turn, we're actually going to redraw this Thane because we have 3 souls over here right now. Or we're going to draw this Panic Raider because they just exiled all of our Thanes. Exiling all of my Thanes is actually kind of okay here for us. I think I actually just like play this over here. And then, like, hit you, you take 1, I draw a card, and then, like, I get a Forlorn Spirit now from this. And I don't think I need 2 of these at the moment, so I think I'm just gonna burn this off and, like, play Panic Raider over here and, like, hit them in the face and draw another card. And then, like, with this Extract Life getting ready, gearing up to kill this soon, we should be in a pretty okay spot. And now it's winter, so this takes an extra damage, so I only need 7 resources to kill this at the moment. I could put a Spirit in front of the Herald to block, but I don't think that's that big of a deal. I guess they could maybe, like, Volition us out of the game here because I'm not being respectful. Yeah, if they have Volition, we're dead. But I kind of like taking the aggressive line. Grr, aggro. That's a little unfortunate.
Muere.
Okay, so what am I doing now? So this does 2. And then I get a Forlorn Spirit. And then I can Ignition this to finish it. And then I can Ironbelly Wyvern here to trade. And then this can hit their face. And then I can just play out a couple of spirits over here, hoping not to die. I think that's the line.
Come play. Come play.
I'm taking 3 right here. Their opponent's archetype generally doesn't have a lot of... I guess I'm dead to another seal with this play. I could have played an Ironbelly Wyvern over here to not be dead to a seal. Because seal exiles all things with the same name.
At last.
They're gonna pry to the palace this, so when these die, they don't, I don't get more. Is that lethal? I think that's lethal, right? I played this over here. Yeah, they're dead. So I play this over here, and I trade, and then I go 4U, play the ironbelly, 3U. Oh, I can even use the power here. That was a really close game. Oh, they could have used Pride on parry and killed me. Yeah, because of the Zealot thing. So they punted lethal and then we stole it on the way back. Nice. Very nice. That's a tough line to see too. Just like, I've definitely been in positions like that where they were so focused on not dying they didn't realize how close they were to killing me and they missed it. Been there, done that for sure. Man, this hand is bad. Yikes. It's pretty unfortunate to get all 3 stairways and both extract lives in the opener.
Let's feed.
Right on time, Stroggy Pup. Welcome to the party.
To battle.
Now, the fact that they're on the impel power here kind of says to me maybe they're more likely to be playing a more mid-range deck. Could still have an aggressive slant. Red tends to be a more aggressive color.
Reporting.
So this thing heals when something dies, so it just pops right back up here, which is great. And then, what do I want to do here? I think I'm burning the extract life. Yeah, I think the lack of mulligans in this game is fine for the most part. Like, even this hand were like a little bit unfortunate, it was kind of awkward. Like, we're still like in a fine spot because of how the resource system works. Resource system in this game is very elegant for making sure you don't have 9 games. Yeah, the way the resource system works, you kind of already mulligan. You choose which cards you're not ready for and send them back. Reporting.
Do we have a mission?
Alright, gonna be interested to see if we can win this game. We've definitely run pretty cold. Not only was our opener not great, but like redrawing this extract life right away. The highest piece of variance in this game, and this is saying something, I think this game's pretty low variance, especially coming from Magic, is how quickly you redraw the cards you've burned. So redrawing this right away is pretty medium. Yeah, so when you burn a card, actually something I haven't shown here yet, there's an in-game deck tracker here, and you can see the cards have orange dots over here. These are the cards I've burned off. When you burn a card, it goes back into your deck, guaranteed not the top card. So just inserts it randomly, but not on top. Was that a good draw, chat? Was that a good draw? But that low variance, do you play similar games a lot? So there's variety in the cards. The places it puts the variance are better than where Magic puts a lot of its variance, in my opinion. Would be an apt way to describe it. So the variance is still in what you draw. It's just you're not deciding whether or not you get to play a functional game. One of the ways this game has variance that Magic doesn't, that I don't think I've talked about today. You'll notice every card has dot or dots in the upper right-hand corner. These dots dictate the rarity of the card, and the rarity of a card dictates how many copies of that card can be in your deck. So for example, this is a mythic, so there can only be 1 copy. This is a rare, so there can only be 2 copies. This is a rare as well. Giant Stairway is an uncommon, so there's 3. So that's a place where the variance is in this game that you don't have it in Magic. Yeah, your finishers being one of tends to lead to a lot of gameplay variety. Concur. I wonder if it's crazy. I think I'm gonna burn this and play this over here. This is probably wrong because of wings. Because they can wings this over and then hit this here. Yeah, that's probably wrong. I probably should have just burned this and kept my 5-drop. I'm not actually 100% sure that 5-drop's good. It's won me a couple of games like that last one. Is the best practice to always play the max amount of a card allowed? Not always. So like for threats, generally speaking, you want to play the max amount so your threats can be the most consistent. But like there's like random utility cards that are commons and uncommons that you'll play like two of on occasion.
Do we have a mission?
You got 3 souls, so we're gonna get a minion back this turn. We're gonna get a thane back, which is nice. And we drew a thane. All right. So I'm gonna go thane here, and then I'm gonna go burn this, play another stairway here, hit this. We're bound to lose the game at some point. Too many cheap blockers there. The thunderclap came up at an opportune time, but just weren't quite able to overcome the awkwardness. Redrawing the extract life was real bad. Honestly, I'm not 100% sure the extract life should be in this deck either. Maybe I want to cut those. It's just super clunky. I'm gonna go down to 1, so I don't have to like draw 2 of them ever again. And play another ignition. A little bit extra reach. We are Mithril 5. Means we're 5 away from the 5 away from champion at the top. Tip at top. One of the things the path do that's really nice in this game is you have a pursuit bonus, which is a bonus you explicitly get when you're on the draw. So it works to address that play draw disparity we see in games like Magic a lot of the time. So my path here says when I'm on the draw, I start with 2 souls for free. So basically my first minion that dies comes back. Burned a red card on 1, so we can play our pup out. Probably burn a thane, play a thane next turn. Opponent's trading their 2-drop for our 1-drop, and then our 1-drop's gonna pop back up to our hand, which is great. And then burn a thane, play a thane, like we said, pass the turn. To battle. And then next turn, I'll burn Firesong Prodigy. We can go thane plus pup, potentially. Depending on what they do. I don't know that I can afford that much, I don't know that I can afford that much life loss in my deck in general. This card is a really good anti-aggro card. It gives minions in the opposite 3 lanes -1 attack. It makes them fragile. They take 1 extra damage. I think the plan here is just like thane here, pup here. Maybe this is wrong because I don't have another blue card to burn to this. Yeah, maybe that's wrong because of that. So I kind of want to like clap this to finish it off after it takes 1 here. I suppose I can burn a firesong next turn and like firesong make ignition to finish this. We'll see what they're able to deploy over here to stunt my aggression. Let's probably do this, finish the beast.
Fortune favors us.
Yeah, that's fine. They're gonna draw some cards, but yeah, and like again, if I had a blue card, we'd really like to draw a blue card. We can burn here. Nothing but net. Easy game, easy life. Easy. Low variance, all skill. How likely were we to hit there? We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We had 8 hits out of 32, so we were 20 on a 25%er.
Let's feed.
So this turn's actually super clean for us. Oh, they're fragile, so it's even cleaner. All right, so I'm gonna burn this ignition. I am currently standing. I'm gonna play Firesong Prodigy out over here. I'm gonna say ignition. This. Trade the puppies. Power this. Hit them for 3. So, like, they're currently up on cards in hand, but I've got this Ichor Feast coming down the line, which is great. I have 2 souls now, so if they kill another one of my things, I'll get this thane back, which would be nice. It's a little awkward that while I have Ichor Feast, I only have triple red right now, so if I burn this, I can't play Firesong Prodigy after. So I'd like to, my Ichor, I'd like it to draw me like a thane or a fossegrim or like a daring trapezist. This card's very good against us. I guess it'll take 1 here, and then the Firesong Prodigy will finish it off the following turn, but it's still a little annoying.
Wanna burn?
Or this Prodigy is going to finish this one now. I guess we might see them burn and then kill this. Yeah. Okay, so what do I want to do? I think I just deploy this way, and then now, and this is like, you know, just so many decision points. I have to decide, do I want to burn this Firesong Prodigy here? I don't think I do. There's an appeal to getting a 4th red this turn, because then when I Ichor next turn, I could get a 5th red, and the 5th red would let me Ichor plus play a double red card after, which is nice, because both of these are kind of triple red cards, because this makes a 1 red threshold ignition. I'm also running a little bit low on resources overall, though. It's close. I think I'm gonna burn this. Burning that also allows me to Ichor Feast into a clap next turn, which would be great.
Fortune.
There's one clap in my deck, so going to 6 means I can go to 7 next turn. And we've got 32 cards in our deck, so we get 4 looks at the clap. And clap would currently clear their board, which would be nice. I dislike the screaming goat noise. Yep. So this attack here is bad for them because my 2/3 heals whenever one of their minions die. Oh, I guess they could hero power this and trade. Really? Okay, that's a good exchange for us. So looking for the clap per usual. Another ichor feast. Feeling a little punished. Those were really not great. So this eats free. These trade. I think I'm burning this. I think I'm just trading here and playing and passing. This card says whenever they draw a card, they lose life, so that's nice. And we're currently at 25, so like even with being at a virtual 22, they're still not close to racing us out here. They do have a grip full of cards as well, though, and plenty of resources. Let's see what they do. I have 2 souls at the moment. Oh, this one was ephemeral already. And we're also only getting a strigoi pet. Are we dead? I think we might be dead. I do have 1 extract life in my deck that can off this. We did leave in a miser extract life. Hoping to draw the clap again next turn. We'd clear out everything except for this guy. We'll just work on getting them low while we look for the extract life. Okay, that's a giant stairway. I'm at 19. They have 8, 11, 13 in play. That's so much. Mythgard does not currently support best of 3. They have a 2v2 mode, though, if you have a friend you'd like to play with at the same time. And honestly, unlike Magic, where I think best of 3 is pretty necessary for me personally to enjoy the gameplay, Mythgard has so much less variance baked into the actual gameplay that I really don't mind only playing best of 1s. Yeah, their tournament, they're supposed to be adding an in-client tournament mode sometime in December, according to their roadmap, and their in-client tournament mode should support best of 3.
Let's feed.
I would be surprised they had like a best of 3 ladder though. So if we draw clap next turn, they're actually dead, right? Because clap clears their board, and then we go ironbelly, trapezist, kill this. So we're 1 in 26 to kill them here. Magnus also buys us a ton of time. We got 2 in 26 to be in a good spot. Okay. Okay.
Yes, yes. Brilliant.
Brilliant. They have lavish proxy in play, is the thing you're missing. This regens here. Burning my rush minion on their 2/2 might have been wrong, because this regens for 2.
Hey there.
Hey there. They're dead, right?
Wanna burn?
That was a heck of a game. That was. Man, we beat it without the extract life too. Yeah, this deck is like mostly red, but like the blue cards add good value. Both the giant stairway and thunderclap and magnus are all very, very good. I cut bragi from the list, and I think that's correct. It might be wrong to not have bragi in here, just because he's a quality card. Like, maybe I'm supposed to split fossegrim with bragi. Let's do that. This is just like a good card. Yeah, it's just like a quality card, right? I'm not sure I like the troll anyways. Bragi has like a good stat line, and the mechanic's very fine. I mean, it made his frenzy a little bit worse, but still reasonable. I go first, eh? Opponents in champion, they're the highest ranked, chat. They're less of a whale than we are, though. I'm gonna burn off a thane. I'm gonna play my trapezists over here. Yeah, I think you could very easily replace all of the mythics in this deck with other things. I don't think any of them are super key. Soul Shepherd's been okay. I've definitely won a number of games because of her. I feel like the jury's still out a little bit.
Got anything good?
She stalls the board really well for you, which is nice. Gosh, that's super unfortunate. This stupid goat, chat. This stupid unicorn. The flippin' bane of my existence. And I can't kill it with ironbelly because ironbelly loses an attack. All my options kind of suck here. Ironbelly on 4 and then clap next turn. The problem is they can slide this over. I don't really want this to trade with another one of my units, and with their hero power, with their power here, that's gonna happen. Yeah, I guess with winter coming, I should have saved the clap. I don't know. All my choices there kind of sucked because of their hero power. Yeah, I don't even want to. I feel like giving up, chat. Just not feeling it. All right, let's put you over here. Let's draw a card. Let's put you here.
To battle!
If they don't kill this, I can giant stairway there, which lets it potentially draw some extra cards. I mean, to be fair, this card is orange. All right, now I'm gonna quit. Had enough. That one's gonna kill all my dorks and all their stuff is bigger. Did not quite line up ideally there. I don't really think we have good answers to the goat, right? Like our blue doesn't really have good removal in this game. It's like exactly thunderclap and magnus as far as blue removal goes. There aren't any like kill target things. There isn't like a lightning bolt or there isn't a lightning strike in this game I'm missing, right? That like deals 3 for some amount of mana. Yeah, I guess we could just play magmataur. Sea Fire's pretty bad. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I want to drag the curve up that much is the issue. Three Ichor Feast might be overkill. Magmataur's pretty good. My curve is still like somewhat acceptable with that. It's a little bit chunky. Yeah, double stairway kind of sucks, but the curve's good. I guess it's not too bad. We can burn one of them off, right? So I have burn Soul Shepherd, play a pup out, burn a stairway, play a thane or a trapezist.
Reporting.
Although with this play on 1, do I actually just burn the pup? Like I'm gonna lose pup to half a card here, right? I think I just burn pup and I pass. So next turn, they can hero power, trade, play a 1/1. But I have another thane after that, so it's like pretty reasonable for us. More text, thanks for the 14 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. This fucking goat. This fucking goat, chat. All it does is ruin me. All it does is ruin me. Why, goat? Why? Oh. I have magmataur. Listen, we were tired of the goat's crap. We put magmataur in our deck. We drew the magmataur. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna do it. I believe in us. Gonna take a couple more hits over here. Magmataur is gonna pop down. It's gonna be great.
Wanna burn?
I don't have time to do this.
To battle!
Wanna burn?
I'm gonna play with our health total a little bit close to the wire here. This might be wrong just because their deck is red, which means they could have rush minions in it as well. So like, using my health total down to 7 here as a resource might be a bit loose. They're gonna crack me for 5 over here. They have ignition in their hand as well, so This might be a little bit medium on my part. Being on the draw this game was a big deal. The stupid goat, man. The stupid goat.
Flame, take you.
Get out of here. Get out of here, goat. Nobody loves you. We're going to 4 on this attack.
A mission.
Okay, I mean, all things considered.
Flame, take you.
Let's feed.
So if they kill any of my things, I get thane, and getting thane back would actually be really good here, because it would let me giant stairway. And giant stairway on Strigoi Pup would buff for our life total, since it says life tap. Stupid goat! This stupid goat! So if they didn't have the goat there, this wouldn't have traded with my thing. I think the magmataurs feel good if people are gonna be playing goats. That was a little rough. And the fragile is really strong. Yeah, a lot of the changes that they made were to make aggro worse. This deck seems fine still, but it's definitely not as good as it was. Yeah, the fact that, like, the goat's just, like, exceptionally good against, like, what this aggro deck is doing, because all of our interaction is about playing to the board. And, like, the goat makes, using creatures as removal not ideal, because yours take extra and theirs take less. Yeah, but I had every lane. Oh, would have had agile. Yeah, you're super right. You are correct. It's agile. I was saying I have every lane blocked, but agile, that means that doesn't matter. Wings of Abaddon is pretty bad against orange, specifically pretty bad against Eager Recruit. Let's get that out of here. I'm gonna have Daring Trapezists clean up their 1/1 next turn.
Hey there.
Let's burn the stairway and put Thane over here, shall we?
To battle!
To battle.
Don't worry, it isn't catching.
Okay, they traded their 2-drop for, or their 3-drop for my 2-drop, so that seems good for me. I'm gonna burn the Ichor Feast for now and play Panic Raider out over here and hit them.
Got anything good?
Yep.
Fortune favors us.
Parry, eh? Probably, like, burning this, play firesong, kill this. Oh, burn this one. Need to burn something red here so that way I can get a third red gem so I can ignition here. Alright. I still have this 1/1 here that'll make my wings awkward at some point, but... How'd the big red deck fare in the update? It's fine. The only card that changed in it was the Panic Reader got marginally worse. It makes you lose 2 life now. It makes you lose a life when it hits something, when it draws a card, but it's not really a big deal.
Reporting.
Okay, well, I'm gonna burn this. I'm gonna slide this over here. I'm gonna magmataur them.
Flame.
So didn't get an attack in this turn, but I got to clear those out, which is nice. I have 1 soul. Panic Reader. Having Panic Reader as the next thing coming back is real good. Whenever you play your second minion in a turn, draw a card, sure. Seems good. Crunch you, crunch you. Play this, crunch you. And I have to decide, do I want to burn this or do I want to play it and attack them? I think I just want to play it and attack them. Because, like, I've got these centered down here, so they're probably going to deploy minions over this way. And then next turn I can giant stairway over here and crunch their face. Yeah, I kept working on different deck ideas, and so many of the decks I was working on, the games were just lasting too long, and it's just like, I started poking at this last. I was like, I just want an aggro deck to smoke people with. Please, for the love of God, let me smoke. Let me smoke. So all their minions are +1/+1.
Do we have a mission?
Well, that was a great draw.
Yes, yes. Brilliant.
Do I want to trade this here? I have 2 souls, so if I trade, I get a Panic Raider back next turn. It also clears the way for Magnus to start attacking, so that's probably fine. Their artifact has...
Targets down.
Yup. Yup. That's a large angel, chat. Oh, they were out of orange. Like, why didn't they play their 1-drop? They're out of orange. I am getting a little bit low at this point. Hitting them to 8. It might be right to play the trapezists here and hit them to 9 because of Wonder Drug. Like putting them to 8, they buffed Wonder Drug, so that way that triggers at 8 now instead of 7. They at least have a 1/1. Depending on how they position here, things could go poorly for us next turn. It is worth noting that this is on 5 defense with Fragile, though, so the Wings of Abaddon is going to get to pop this off next turn. I'm at 8, which is a little bit low. It depends on how aggressive they get. Yeah, I don't think I should play around Volition. I think I should have maybe played around Wonder Drug. I think it might have been right to play this because of Wonder Drug. Like, keep them off of that for a turn. Instead of me telling you you're wrong and telling you your cards are bad, you should tell me why those cards are right. Make a case for why those cards should be included in my deck. Tuna Starmaster. Instead of being like, hey Jeff, play these things.
Duerme.
I think we're probably dead. Yeah, I think if I play around Wonder Drug, I maybe end up okay here. But without playing around Wonder Drug, I think we're pretty dead. So I get to eat this and then trade here. I suppose I could play this and hit them, and then that breaks the Olam ring. I can also like crack in here, Trapezists is crack in here and trade off, but I think I'd rather just be facing them. They're at 14 though. It's like pretty hard to run down the rest of it from here. I don't know, I'm at 8 which is like not a lot of life. I think I also potentially should have burned an extra card. Yeah, I think maybe I should have burned this last turn. Oh yeah, I'm just dead, right? Because they have overrun. Yeah. Alright, I'm actually kind of spent, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it a day. Doing more than 8 hours has been tough recently, so we're about there now. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. I'll be popping on again tomorrow morning for a little bit, depending on how long I'm gonna run tomorrow.